Alrighty guys, we're back for some Patchwork combo, and this is a March of the Machine, the Aftermath Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat, and I play aggro decks, Anthony decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link as well as that brand new Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? Enthusiastic Mechanaut is a 2-mana, 2/2 artifact creature, rocking Izzet colors up there. It has flying, and artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. In this deck, we'd love to get a couple of these down to make a lot of these artifacts free. But obviously, this is going to pair nicely with our Patchwork Automaton. It's a 2-mana, 1/1 artifact creature. It has Ward 2, which really comes in handy. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Patchwork Automaton. Yeah, so like I said, hopefully we get a couple Mechanauts down to make a lot of these artifacts free. So what are some of the artifacts? We got Energy Refractor here, all 4 of them. It's a 2-mana artifact. When it ETBs, draw a card. Nice. For 2 mana, add 1 mana of any color. Okay. Now we got 1 Prophetic Prism here. It's a 2 mana. When it ETBs, draw a card. Then for 1 mana, you can tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Okay, so why not 4 Prophetic Prisms instead of like the Energy Refractors? Well, we do have Tezzeret on the top end, which we'll go over in just a second. The most important artifact in here, I would say, is probably Wedding Invitation because, well, outside of like our creatures and stuff, right? But yeah, the 2-mana artifact. When it ETBs, draw a card. Okay, but you can tap this, sack it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. So if you have a nice chunky patchwork, I mean, it's probably getting chump blocked often, right? It doesn't have trample or anything, so just making it unblockable sounds awesome, man. Which reminds me, we saw an opponent just absolutely popping off with a similar build. I believe their build also had green in it. I opted just for an Izzet build instead of a Teamer build. But when we saw that, we got so many pleasant comments saying about how cool the opponent's deck was. So obviously we had to put something together. So massive props to the opponent. Thank you for playing something fun, right? The opponent was also playing Filter Out in the deck. So it's a 3-mana instant speed. This is from an uncommon from the Aftermath. It's got double blue in the casting cost. Return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hands. So if you are popping off already and you're playing cards like Energy Refractor for free because you have a couple Mechanauts on the board and your Patchwork Automaton is just getting absolutely out of hand, dropping a Filter Out and then playing all of these for free again, and all while keeping your hand nice and stocked and your Patchwork is just going crazy. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. there's some serious potential, and I think having all 4 is definitely going to be fun enough for the combo. I don't know if it's going to be necessary to have all 4, but I really want to see it, right? So, all right, I talked about going over Tezzeret here in a second. So Tezzeret, Betrayer Flesh, is a 4-mana, 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker. The first activated ability of an artifact you activate each turn costs 2 less to activate. So that's why I'm opting for all 4 Energy Refractors, because of that bottom ability for 2 mana, add 1 mana of any color. You don't have to like tap Refractor to actually do that ability or anything, so you could essentially have a little bit of ramp from the Tezzeret and the Refractor both being on the board. I don't know how often that comes in handy, because it could also be the Prophetic Prism, but you have to tap the Prism, and there may be a lot of moments where you actually want that artifact untapped, like the -2 on Tezzeret, for example. Target artifact becomes an artifact creature. If it isn't a vehicle, it has base power toughness 4/4. It's worth noting that that 4/4 does not gain haste, right? I'm mainly telling that to myself, so I don't forget. It's got a +1 here that's pretty good too. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. Pretty powerful, honestly. So we got a -6 that I don't know how often we see, and even if we do see it, we're probably in the lead anyways. But yeah, you get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control becomes tapped, draw a card. Okay. While we're going over the top end, we might as well go over our single Saheeli here, Filigree Master. It's a 4-mana, 3 loyalty legendary planeswalker. It's got a +1 for Scry 1, and then you can tap an untapped artifact you control. If you do, draw a card. So that might be another reason to use the Energy Refractor with the Tezzeret instead. I don't know how often that comes into play, but yeah, I thought I'd bring that up again. So pretty good +1, I guess. And then the -2, create 2/1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. They gain haste until end of turn. Okay. So like the Thopters entering the battlefield, it's not like those add any counters to the Patchwork because Patchwork specifically says whenever you cast an artifact spell, but we do have other stuff in here that cares about artifacts entering. Plus, just having more artifacts on the board doesn't hurt anything, right? It's got a -4. You get an emblem with artifact creatures you control get +1/+1, and artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Now that could be pretty good, huh? If we get that up to minus, I mean, the first turn is out there, you can go +1. If it survives, you can immediately go -4 the next turn. So even if you don't see your Mechanaut, maybe Saheeli can get us there, right? Pretty good art, pretty good Planeswalker, guys. It really is. The last few times we played with it, it has proven itself. What else do we got here, guys? At the front of the build, we got some protection. All 4 slip out the backs. I'm definitely seeing enough Sunfall to just say, okay, we might as well try the slip out the backs, right? As a 4 of. I do think they're going to come in handy often. Can you imagine how annoying it would be too if the opponent isn't playing a Sunfall style control deck or mid range, right? And they pay the extra ward cost on the Patchwork Automaton, and you're just like, yeah, but like slip out the back. Yeah, keeping Automaton alive is important, but obviously keeping the Mechanauts on the board is super important because they got big targets on their back, guys. They really do for some simple little creatures there. Speaking of simple little creatures, we got 2 Reinforced Ronins. It's a 1-mana 2/2 with haste, and the beginning of your end step, return Reinforced Ronin to its owner's hand. And it has that channel ability for 1 and a red, discard Ronin, draw a card. Pretty good creature, guys. I don't know how often we're actually going to be able to swing in with it. I guess there's plenty of moments against control where we can swing in with it, but mainly it's in here so that way we can keep spamming out artifacts every single turn, even if we don't see the filter out and stuff like that. Got a couple Inscribed Tablets. It's a 1-mana artifact. For 1 mana, you can tap this, sacrifice it, reveal the top 5 cards of your library, put a land card from among them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, draw a card. So you are forced to grab a land here. It doesn't say you may put a land, but even if you don't see a land, then you still get the card draw. Realistically, it's just in here for another cheap artifact, and all you need is 1 Mechanaut to have the tablet just be free. Just play it for free. Why not, right? And then hopefully you're buffing like your Patchwork and stuff. But also, we have other ways to win too outside of Patchwork, or just other ways to deal damage, I guess. Dragonspark Reactor is a 2-mana artifact. Whenever Dragonspark Reactor or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, so for a Reactor, you don't actually have to cast the artifact, which is nice. You put a charge counter on Dragonspark Reactor. Then for 4 mana, sacrifice Dragonspark Reactor. It deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to target player, and that much damage to up to 1 target creature. So it could act as a little bit of removal too. Something to be careful about, of course, filter out will bump the reactor back to your hand as well. So that's one of the reasons why we're only opting for 2 of them. And realistically, maybe it should be a 1 of, but I do want to see it at some point today. We have more ways to just help us close out games, or just more ways to do stuff, I guess. Couple Chrome Host Seedsharks, 3 mana, 2/4. It's got flying, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. Luckily, it doesn't read like how much you spent on the spell, right? It's just that spell's mana value. The incubate tokens work really well with cards like Tezzeret. Making that first activated ability 2 less to cast means you could potentially power up one of the incubators for free early on. One more card, guys. We're almost there. Eye of Malcator. I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's a 3-mana artifact that we're just trying out. When it ETBs, you get to Scry 2. Scry 2 isn't terrible, right? But whenever another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, the Eye becomes a 4/4 Phyrexian Eye artifact creature until end of turn. So we'll see. We'll see. I really just wanted to try this out. I think it'll be interesting because I don't think we'll be actually casting this out for all 3 mana often, right? Like you get Mechanaut down, and then this becomes a 2-mana card where you scry 2, and then it powers up to a 4/4 whenever an artifact enters. It doesn't seem that bad, does it? The mana base, guys, we got a couple Mycosynth Gardens to either copy the Patchwork Automaton or like copy the Mechanauts and stuff. Now, it's worth noting that I don't believe it doesn't count as entering the battlefield whenever you copy one. It just kind of moves up from the land spots up to like where the creatures are. So I think this is actually going to really come in handy. And really, if you just see one Mechanaut and one Mycosynth Garden, that's pretty good, man, because then you can easily get that second Mechanaut with that bottom ability. Have Hall of Tagsin, just trying it out here. I think sometimes the Power Stones could come in handy, but we'll see, we'll see. Stormcarved, we got the Reef, we got the Crucible, we got the Soaring City, heavily leaning towards islands because the deck is heavily leaning towards islands. Honorable mentions, guys. Marauding Dreadship almost made the list. Getting a couple artifacts isn't half bad, and I like the haste on this too, but the problem is I think it dies to everything. Being a 4-1 instead of like a 4-2 or something makes it very easy to trade, right? Thought about Celestis because I've been having so much luck with Celestis. I just don't know how necessary it is in this deck in particular. And I thought about some chunkier artifacts too, but I decided just not to. Just having cheaper things makes more sense in this deck. So no Mightstone, Weakstone this time, as good as it is, and it's good removal or card draw, right? Okay, is that everything, guys? Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, what am I expecting from the build? I'm expecting jank, but we can totally get there, man. We can totally pop off. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is a bad first hand. We have the Inscribed Tablet to maybe help us find mana. We could try it. You know what? It's so bad. It's so bad. I want to try it, though. Let's see. This is definitely a mulligan hand, guys. This is way too risky. But seeing the top 5, and but we go first too. So, all right, let's see. See what we see. Okay, Hall is good. The Reef is better, though, right? Because it'll be that blue source for sure. And you know what? We might as well swing with the Ronin. Do this. Okay, so next turn we have the draws on either Wedding Invitation or the Prism. Probably Prism. Jadar, what's up, buddy? It's been a while. We also have Reactor, if we want to start with that instead. 23 total land, I believe, in here. Yeah, what the heck. We kept like a super greedy hand. We might as well remain greedy for the rest of the game, right? We'll go Reactor. Land off the top would obviously be really good. Obnixilis, nice, dude. Played with Obnixilis recently in our Anvil build, and the card's just ridiculous. When you can actually pull off the casualty, right? It becomes a huge problem very fast. I'm going to ditch Tezzeret because we're still a couple turns away from it. Although Ronin wouldn't be a terrible one to ditch, but yeah, since we have like Reactor, which deals damage to target creature, not planeswalkers, that could be a problem. Okay. Well, I guess we better get the card draw and hope that we see a land. Let's see it. Reactor can eventually take out... Oh, no. Reactor can eventually take out the Jadar. Yeah, we kept a greedy hand. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I do like testing the deck to its limits. Woohoo, shielded. All right, we're in some serious trouble. Don't want to take too much damage here, honestly. I'm going to get rid of one of the Seedsharks. Although, getting a couple of those down, we'd still have so many turns. All right, one of the Chrome Host Seedsharks is totally fine to ditch there. We just don't have the mana or the turns to actually get 2 of them down. Okay, down to 16. We're taking 2 from Sheoldred. 14, down to 10 for the turn. All right, now we'll hold. Oh, they're actually gonna keep the devil back? Wonder why. Down to 11. Filter out. No, no, guys. Oh no. We're trying particularly bad for keeping such a lousy hand. This is pretty bad. Hey, Mechanaut. Dude. Oh man. Now we did send the Hall back, right? Oh. We're dead from the full swing, but we might as well. We might as well discard. And the Ronin this time, that's fine. Yeah, GG opponent. I wish I could have done a little bit more, but we saw a large portion of our deck, but a large portion of our deck didn't get onto the board. GG. I'll tell you what, guys. Hey, there's the mana. Let's go. Hey, get out of here, Shieldred. Technically, the Reef ends it then, right? Wait. Didn't we pay the one deals 1 damage for the slip out the back? Am I missing something there? Oh, we used the prism. I see. That's funny. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, can totally use cards like the prism to get around the Painland. Huh? Maybe that's a reason to have more. All right, guys. I won't be as greedy with keeping the hand. I promise. I apologize. I know we try to keep some super bad hands sometime. Although I feel like after, like, I don't know how many turns it was, 4 or 5 turns, I feel like we would have had a good chance to actually see the third. Especially with all the extra drawing we've done. Yeah, now this is a good hand, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, buddy. Probably Patchwork before the Mechanaut, as terrible as that is, because Patchwork has that ward too. So if we get Mechanaut down, oh, instantly burnt, right? So we'd rather go Mechanaut on 3 and have the slip out the back open. For sure. Bloodthirsty Adversary? Okay, yeah, no, we're in trouble, dude. Mono red is not a good sign. Not a good sight over there. I doubt they pay the ward 2 just to drop a Play with Fire on the Automaton. They probably let this survive. But you never know. Mountain, Play with Fire, pay the ward 2. There's one step. Mechanized Warfare. Okay. Oh, man. Alright. Down to 10. Not even our 3rd turn, guys. Well, now it is. We have the slip out the back open. Or we could go Refractor, draw a card, get Patchwork to a 3/3. 100% the Mechanaut dies. 100%. But if we get Patchwork to a 3/3, then it survives and end the festivities for 2 because the Warfare's on the board. We could also slip it out the back too, though, but we're at 10, guys. We could easily die next turn. So we need, like, good blockers. It's a pain, but we should play this just in case we have a chance. Okay, another filter out. Okay. I think this is unfortunately a GG's, man. Jeez. Yeah, that was fast. We didn't even get a chance to blink. I don't think keeping slip out the back there would have been the answer. I think just having a 3/3. See the Play with Fire, see we could have slipped that out the back, but at what point and at what cost, right? So Patchwork Automaton trades with the adversary and no longer trades with Swift Spear. They don't even accept that trade. They're just going for 4. I guess we take the 4. Because I guess there's a small chance. Filter out gives them their Kumano back. Although, like, filter out, getting Warfare off the board wouldn't be bad for us. Losing the Mechanaut is really bad, though. Guess we can get Hall down, and I'll use the Hall to get the tablet down. Patchwork to a 4/4. Filter out and slip out the back available. I don't want to give them their Commano back, but the filter out could be quite the trick when this Warfare is on the board. Let's see what ends up happening. I think we'll probably end up having to use the slip out the back. We're at 4-2, so the opponent could just lightning strike our face. But that's where we go filter out, get the Warfare back to their hand. Oh, another Warfare. This could be fun. This could be a fun turn. Okay. They're going to get to play the Commano, so you got to be safe there. So what we do is we block the Swift Spear. Hopefully that's not burn in the opponent's hand. Filter out. Down to 2. They drop Commano down to 1, unless the last card in their hand is a Play with Fire. Okay. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Not exactly what we're trying to do for the game, but... Still got the slip out the back. Play one of the Reefs, yeah. I guess we should draw on the Refractor first. Patchwork. Okay. It's another blocker, so we're going for it. Buff these on up. I'd love to start swinging, but being at 1, I mean, the opponent, honestly, they probably just won this turn, but there's so much in a Mechanized Warfare deck that just does 1 damage. Oh, Mechanized Warfare. No way. No way, guys. We're in this. We can't bounce the Commano back to their hand. Reef. Draw. Be so much better if we had that Mechanaut on the board still, right? Aw, the island's really bad. I wonder if I should have... No, that doesn't make too much sense, does it? I guess we might as well activate the tablet. It filters the deck. We have 23 land in here. Oh, wow. Wow, guys. Okay, first of all, Crucible is the one to send to our hand. We still have these open. I'd love to swing, but... Oh, Commano flips next turn. We got to be super careful. So even if they just see mountains off the top for the rest of the game, we're still in trouble for a second. Mountain. Warfare number 2. Now that Etching's here, Warfare number 3. Guys, we're going to filter out. You best believe it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, since Etching's a creature now, they go for the swing. Guys, I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel bad. Oh, no. Oh, no, opponent. I'm so sorry. All right, let's go for the draws. GG. Let's go, dude. Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez. How good was that game, man? How good. Like, the whole time, like, I thought... Dude, the opponent got pretty unlucky, I'd say. Not seeing something that dealt 1 damage, although I know the feeling, though, so... I definitely... As a red player, I know that feeling where, oh yeah, literally anything in my deck can kill the opponent right now. And then you just top deck another Mechanized Warfare, and it's like, well, except for that. Oh, jeez. That was awesome, dude. Okay. Another good hand, right? Yeah. Another good one. I really should have mulliganed that first game, guys. I apologize. We keep some risky stuff over here sometimes. Okay. I might even wait to play the tablet until Patchwork's on the board. Like, just hold out the turn. Get Patchwork down. Depending on what the opponent plays. Okay. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold out. I might even go Mechanaut first, but Patchwork into Mechanaut's fine too, since this is an artifact creature. Yeah. Patchwork's better because cut down. The ward too really comes in handy. Now this is one of those games where we wouldn't mind seeing a slip out the back. Really? Opponent, we had a great hand too. Ah, man. Wonder why they dropped the Concede. We had the Gardens next turn, Mechanaut for 2, right? And then Wedding Invitation for the 1, draw a card, see what it was. And then a tablet would have been free. That would have been insane, dude. That's 3 artifacts next turn. It's like the opponent saw our hand, guys. Then the filter out eventually, too. Cool. Yeah, we had a great hand. Even though it's an early concede, that's a good time to bring up how we have chapters at the bottom of the video, and then also timestamps in the description. If you always want to feel free to forward ahead. Any early concedes like that, I do my best to go ahead and mark in the chapters, so it'll say like game 3 early concede or whatever like that, right? Something along those lines, I mean. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Another good hand? Dude, we're going first here, too. All right. I'm down. I feel like it might be a little worse than the last hand, but you never know. This is probably Patchwork on 2 again. Yep. I was going over the deck. I said the Ward 2 will really come in handy. And oh boy, does it ever. When there's just way too much spot removal. Come on, land off the top. Life of Toshiro. I guess gain life. Wedding announcement. Land off the top would have protected the Mechanaut with the slip out the back. At this point, do we risk it, or do we just play and draw and see if we find the land? I say we play, draw, try to find the land. Go with the Prism here. Okay, another Patchwork isn't terrible. We might just play that next turn. Do we want 24 land in here, guys? Maybe. I feel like no. Oh, sacrifice gets around the automaton. Crap. So if I would have played the creature, we could have ditched the Mechanaut, but I'm not sure if that's what we really wanted. Liliana is a problem. We definitely have to do more than just one thing every turn. All right, Patchwork. With these matches where we're struggling to see the third mana, then we really want to consider 24, but I think it's too early. You know, more testing required. Definitely something to talk about in the final thoughts. Oh, Shieldred, you are 4 turns too early, buddy. Okay, let's ditch the Tezzeret because that isn't coming down anytime soon, and we might need the Scry on the Eye. Tezzeret's great, but yeah. Might be in a Liliana lockdown state here, guys. Where we can't do more than one thing a turn. They dropped the GGs. Oh no, guys. Now we gotta buckle up and figure this out. No, they know we're not seeing mana. That's what it is. We'll go like that. I love that it uses the Prism so we don't take damage there. So now, Go for the Throat doesn't hit like anything in here, which is nice, but the -2 on the Liliana, at least we have a choice. And honestly, we might just sacrifice the Automaton. As terrible as that is, we need stuff to be cheaper so we can draw into the land, which is why I opted for the 23 instead of the 24, right? I figured we're going to be seeing a lot off the top and making things cost less too. Woo! Gix's command comes down. We're dead. We're super dead. It's still not even, it's still not a land. See if we draw the land. Nope. Dang, dude. All right. Nice. Yeah, see, they knew we weren't seeing that mana. We'll give them the GGs back. We'll drop the GGs in return. And we'll give them, let that resolve. Actually, can we make the Sheoldred unblockable? That's fun. There you go. We'll give him the crying. Alright. Onwards to the next one, guys. It still wasn't land off the top either, so it's definitely something to think about, man. I don't even know. I don't know what to say about that. That was a lot of turns and a lot of draws without mana, so I guess it's just unlucky, but you know, you can only say it so many times, right? I still feel like it was a decent hand, though. I feel like the opening hands have been decent, man. Except for that first game. We don't talk about that first game. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about the fact that I kept that hand. Alright. Hey, 4 mana. Slip out the back, 2 automatons, lots of artifacts to draw into. Mycosynth can turn into the 3rd automaton. Sure. Let's give it a shot, man. I don't think this is a mulligan necessarily. But it's not as good as the past couple, but okay, blue in a swamp. We have to anticipate a counter spell here, unfortunately, guys, and losing one of our automatons early to a make disappear could be devastating. But not playing anything is just as bad. We could try the wedding invitation, or we could just try it. It might just be a go for the throat. Yeah, make disappear would be really bad, but if it's just go for the throat, it doesn't land. And neither does a cut down because of the ward too. All of their main pieces of removal. Sheoldred's Edict is played though, as a way to clean up planeswalkers. Well, Sheoldred's Edict does hit the automaton. 3 mana, Liliana. Bro, what's up with the opponents having all the stuff to have a sacrifice, guys? This is scary. Alright. This is another instant. When you're up against Liliana, you gotta play like more than one thing a turn, you know what I mean? Other words, it gets bad really fast. So like for this turn, we're gonna have slip out the back open when they go -2 on Liliana. The problem is they're gonna have open mana at that point too, so we might as well try it. I think we're in danger, man. So like a make disappear could hit the slip out the back, or on the stack of the -2 before the slip out the back hits, they could go removal spell, which a cut down, pay the ward 2 cost does hit the automaton here. Arcane Proxy, dude, nice. Don't see that one too often. Sheoldred's Edict. Okay. Okay. Let them do this. Slip out the back. Luckily, Liliana, you know, you can't do that at instant speed, so they go plus and we ditch the island, maybe? Because there's a chance that we see more land. Liliana is such a problem, dude. We need a way through. We need a way to kill that. It could be Wedding Invitation. Make Patchwork unblockable. Oh, but now it's a 5. Now it's at 5. Yeah, dude, we're struggling. I wouldn't mind powering up the Mycosynth before playing any. Well, no, we can't. Not enough mana. Because X would be 2. Yeah. That's not worth it. Let's see what we draw here. Let's see what we draw. It might be something worthwhile. A land. That land is going to get discarded. Oh, Reactor. Nice. They can chump here, so we got to go unblockable. Make it so that way they can't -2 the Patchwork, right?
You couldn't be more annoying.
I know it. I don't know if I've heard that line from Liliana before. Honestly, we've been playing against it for how long? She just called us annoying, guys. I'm sad now. See if we okay, so we'll ditch the land.
You won't be outsmarting me.
So now they have the -2 next turn's the big problem here, man. Target player that much to one creature. Just making sure the first part of that doesn't say, like, to any target. But yeah, it's target player, target creature. Tezzeret, okay. We have 3 mana open here. We gotta deal with this Liliana, dude. Or we're in trouble. This was on the board already, so I guess we could go -2. First of all, it has to land, right? Or maybe this was the turn to do Mycosynth. Again, we only had... We'd have to do the Mycosynth and 2 of the other mana. Copy the Patchwork. It lands, guys. But that would have been a way to get around like a counterspell or something, right? Yeah, this is pretty good. This is the type of deck. Yep, there's Go for the Throat. And we got a full swing awkwardly at Liliana because they chump one. And the other... oh, they don't have to chump now. They just let the Liliana die. Keep the chump to save their life for a turn. Technically anyone's game. The opponent's not seeing a lot of mana, and we caught back up a little bit. Actually, they can swing at Tezzeret. Take 8 next turn. Was that worth it? Trading our Tezzeret for the Liliana? Probably. Trespasser. That's bad. Both of our creatures are over top of Trespasser, but that's still bad news, right? Better get everything onto this board. Wait a minute. Do we want to copy Patchwork, then play Reactor? I don't mind that. That's pretty cool, actually. Let's do it. Nice. That's pretty cool. Dragonspark Reactor. Probably just take the 9. Looks like a really neat Dimir list from the opponent over there. This was a fun time, guys. This was fun. This is janky goodness. For real. I wonder if there was more optimized ways to play this one out. The sacrifices are particularly bad is the big problem, right? They go cut down, pay the ward. They have a double block on the other automaton. And then they would take 4, depending on what's left in their hand. Okay. Tablet. So we have the 1 damage from the Reactor. If we want to go Reactor, ping face, ping proxy, full swing. That's actually really good, isn't it? Because then they don't have the double block on the Patchwork anymore. That's actually really good. Yeah. That's brutal, dude. If we would have had something else, I guess like 1 more mana, then it would have been a little bit of extra damage because we would have played Tablet first. Down to 2. Switches to nighttime, though. That could be scary, depending on what they play here. Like another Glutton. Another Glutton pass would be terrifying, dude. Although they're so low that they're going to have to... Okay, Arcane Proxy. Cut down. Go for the throat. Oh, well, yeah. Our deck is prepared, I guess. What did they end up hitting there? Cut down doesn't hit anything. Nice, dude. So they play the creature for the sake of blocking. Passes back. Land. Okay. They still have the swamp open. Let's get the tablet down. This is somehow working out. I'm going to go ahead and use this ability too, just to filter more land out of the deck too. Shuffle it up. Yeah, Crucible. Yeah, that's a good one to grab. For now, right? We're actually going to keep both in hand in case they play Liliana, have us discard, even though they're probably going to have us sacrifice a creature. Chump and trade. Glutton's out of here. They definitely would want to have us sacrifice a creature. So is it safe to play the island? Probably, but I'm not going to. Because they know we have Crucible in hand too, so if they find another way around Automaton, then they could plus a Liliana. GG opponent. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Oh, man. Worked out nicely. I feel like the opponent needed more mana at some point, but it also didn't look like the type of Dimir deck that needs like 6 mana on the board either, so it kind of looked like a little bit of a different version. Guys, we're about 40 minutes in. Unfortunately, I got more videos to record today, so we should probably call it there on a high note too. So let's go over the deck list one more time. Yeah, here's the deck list again, guys. What are the final thoughts for the evening? Okay. Okay, so first of all, okay, hold on. I gotta gather my thoughts here. Let me get a sip of my coffee real quick. Right. So, what would you guys add or take out? Let me know in the comments for sure. There's a lot going on, man. Automaton, first of all, just an incredible creature. Still just really powerful, definitely worth the build around 110%, right? Slip out the back is a very powerful piece of protection. It does a lot. The extra counters do a lot since this is leaning so heavily towards like the tempo side of things, right? So Dragonspark Reactor actually did a thing in that last game. I'd actually keep this as a 2 of. You definitely still want like the Mechanaut as a 4 of. You're really trying to pop off. We didn't get to see it today where we had a couple Mechanauts with the Automaton and then we filter everything out and then just play everything, keep our hand nice and stocked. But another thing, man, our hand was really nice and stocked pretty much the whole time. I guess we were getting close to the point of fizzling out in that last game, but so was the opponent, honestly. Tezzeret was excellent, huh? We didn't get to see Saheeli today, unfortunately. We didn't get a Chrome Host Seedshark on the board either. We didn't get to play the Eye. There was actually a lot we didn't get to play, huh? But overall, I think it was fine. For some janky goodness, dude, I think it's going to be totally fine. And it'll be a fun time for sure. That was pretty fun. Even when we weren't drawing well, it can be frustrating sometimes not seeing mana off the top, but it's just the name of the game, and at that point, I still think the 23 is fine. Maybe we do need 24 since we did. No, I don't know, man. Like, look at all this draw power here, right? And then Mechanaut makes our artifacts cheaper, right? I mean, we have draw power on Tezzeret and Saheeli too, so if we want to count those. And Saheeli's -4 makes things cheaper as well. We also have ways to grab land with the tablet. Yeah, I would keep the 20. I think 23 is the best bet. I do think we got a little unlucky in those matches not seeing it. I don't think I would change too much. I guess maybe go down to 3 filter outs and go up a piece of spot removal wouldn't hurt anything, dude. Probably utility removal is what I would opt for, but it really depends what you're seeing too. A piece of removal that can hit like Sheoldred as well could be decent. Don't necessarily know what your preferred one would be though. Let's check real quick since we have an extra minute here. Because we can go. Let's see, 5 damage, right? Damage apparently. A Rending Flame could be a good one since it has like since it doesn't have double red in the casting cost. If you go for like Warcrafting, the double red could hold you up sometimes in this deck in particular. Then you'd want to reconsider some stuff in the mana base, more dual lance and stuff like that. Rebel Salvo, we don't have any equipment in, but I mean, the losing Indestructible could be really good outside of the Rending Flame. That does not hit Indestructible, right? And there's not many spirits being... Actually, there are spirits being played in the Selesnya enchantments. Deals 2 damage to the permanence controller. So it really depends. Do you want to deal 2 damage to the occasional Selesnya enchantments build, or do you want the creature to lose indestructibility? Either way, like one of those could be fine, I guess, if you drop a filter out. Outside of that, you're probably looking to add more artifacts instead if you don't want more removal, right? If you're seeing more control decks, then obviously you don't want more removal. What did I do to this poor deck, guys? I made it quite the mess here. As for like the Prism and the Energy Refractor, we really didn't get to see the Energy Refractor do too much with the Tezzeret. So I could see dropping like one of these and going up another Prism, since the Prism helps you use the reefs without actually taking damage. And again, it does matter what you're going up against. So like mono red aggro, for example, you don't want to take a lot of damage from the reefs. And so the Prism could actually come in handy for casting things out, greedy things out like the Mechanaut and stuff. So I could totally see that. And if you if you like that a lot, then you could go to 3 prisms and 2 refractors as well. That would be fine. Or 1 refractor, 4 prisms. If it's saving your butt often, you're using that reef and the prism together often, right? Because yeah, you're not going to see like the whole refractor ramp with Tezzeret's top ability too often. And even when you do see it, I don't know how often it actually comes into play. Although in a lot of those games, there were a lot of moments where we did want to do many things on the same turn, and we weren't really seeing the mana we needed for it. So, no, I like this one, guys. Another thing you could potentially drop down to like a 1 of is the Inscribed Tablet. At that point, again, what do you go up? Probably an artifact, or if you're seeing a lot of aggro, more spot removal. Just won't hurt anything, man. So, I really wish we would have seen Saheeli today. I think if we did, it would have been good. I still think we would have probably just kept it as a 1 of. I don't think we would have talked about 2 of these in this particular deck, but you never know. Maybe it would have been an MVP in some of those matches, huh? Especially when paired with like the Dragonspark Reactor and stuff. All right, guys, that's that, huh? Let me know again down in the comments what you would add or take out. If you made it this far into the video, then for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.